Okay.
There's many videos now, thousands of viewers, yeah, that are showing Quran is written in the wrong language. The Quran is come from the wrong place, blah, 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 everything. Let me just show you.
All right.
I find these videos funny, actually. Wrong language. No, why I find them funny is because it sounds like the people who have made these videos, to me, they're simply clowns, so people to laugh at.
Yeah,
Yes.
they usually find
Let
like a
me,
little bit of evidence and they just run with it, right? And they don't do a proper thorough
no,
research.
this is the evidence that Muslims now accept. This is not the non-Muslims. This is Muslims who are saying this is official history. Yes,
Mm.
Muslims are saying, Muslims will say there is a Quran manuscript in London. Yes, they will say there is a Quran manuscript in France, Quran manuscript in Istanbul, another manuscript in Tashkent or Samarkand, Uzbekistan, and they will say there is the Yemen manuscript and all these other things. This is what the Muslims are saying. Now, just have a look at all this. And the thing is, these videos, I find them funny. Many Western people are watching this now, and they believe this to be official history. They have, look at this, it turns around and says a Dr. J or whatever.
Hmm.
Yes, I've studied the information that they've given, and the information is just total garbage. The Quran is written in the wrong language. This is one. Let's see another one. There's more videos. The Quran is written in the wrong Arabic. Yeah, when you see these videos, they're just for Muslims. They sound realistic. Look at this. The Quran is false. Yeah, 500,000 viewers. Where are you Muslims? Yes, what have you done to reply these people? Yes. So there is all these things that are just ridiculous. Yes, I'm saying they're ridiculous because nobody has ever challenged these things, because maybe the Muslims are not even looking for the information. So now let's just let me just send you a few more of these people's videos. I
Okay.
sent you information before about these people. Yeah, please put these in the video so that people can see that they've got large followings, and they've got many videos. It's because looking for them now, yeah. Oh, look at this. Allah is Satan. Mohammed is an idolater. Islam is all a lie. Muhammad copied from the Jews. Muhammad was not illiterate. Yeah, these videos. I mean, if you see them from a comedy point of view, yes, they're funny. But if you actually look at the information they're giving, they've got some serious information. Yes, they've got some serious information. So now the first thing we will go through is the Quran manuscripts. This is very important. Yes.
Okay.
Now, what many people do not know is that the British invaded Cairo, in the 1880s or sometime. I'm not sure about the exact date, but they invaded Egypt. An invasion. Let me just show you what an invasion is, because many people, they just think, it's just an invasion. We don't know what's going on. Let me show you what they actually did. Yes, and you'll be able to see what they actually did. Then people can judge things themselves. Now, this is very important because all the Quran manuscripts in museums, many people seem to think that maybe they've got some truth in them. Yes, if they're going to be in a British museum and a French museum and a German museum, I think the Muslims should think again. Yes, they should think again and think, are these manuscripts actually genuine? Or have they played with these manuscripts? Yeah, let me just show you what type of things the British were doing and the French were doing. Yes, yeah. So here is an example. They're in the Middle East saying, yo, what have you got over there, yo? Come over here. They're just breaking into houses. Oh yeah, when the soldiers have got nothing to do, if there's any beautiful girls, they just took them and did what they want. Yeah. And the thing is, they searched them for Qurans or manuscripts or anything. It's not a joke what they did. There's one picture here which is happening today in what people would call Israel, or if you want to call it the Middle East, or if you want to call it Palestine. The name Palestine was also invented by these people, Western historians. They invented it so that they can say, oh, these people are the Philistines, the enemy of God, according to the Bible. So this is another name they invented. Well, anyway, this is what they're doing to the people. Yes. Now, if you're going to believe these people, yes, and they've turned around and said, we found these manuscripts in the Middle East. Believe us, we don't tell lies. We found these manuscripts, the British and the French, the Germans, and all these other people. Can you believe these manuscripts? Can you?
Clearly not. I mean, why would
the Uthman Quran, which is in Tashkent, oh, it was just the Russians. Oh, they were just chopping heads, you know, raping, murdering Muslims. You know, it's like, oh, you've got a mobile phone? Yeah, chop his head off. Let's just take this free. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's kill him too. You know what I mean? That's how they took the mobile phones. So now when the Ottoman Empire collapsed in 1923, they took advantage. Hey, there's nobody to protect these Muslims now. We can do what we want. So now in 1924, this is just one place. In Cairo, yes, the British, you can see the pictures. They're killing people. They went around from mosque to mosque. They went around from city to city. They even paid their men, yes, Arab Christians or Arab Muslim soldiers who don't know what's going on, confiscate every manuscript, every Quran manuscript, every what they call the Hadith manuscripts or Hadith manuscripts. They took them all. This is in Egypt. At the same time, the British are now in Transjordan, what is called Palestine in Jordan. The French are in Beirut. I want people to think the British and the French are in Damascus. The British are in Baghdad. Oh, by the way, let me show you what type of soldiers they had. Yes, in many of these places. Because the thing is, people are going to have to imagine what exactly happened. Now, people are thinking it's just the British. Yeah, I want you to imagine right now who went with these British people. Who was their actual army? Because if people do not see the actual army, they're going to start imagining things. And they'll think, hey, you know, it's people who went there from England. Now, the thing is, yes, what you see this every day in India. Yes, you will see in India, yes, what we call is Muslims getting attacked, and also Muslims doing attacks in India. So now the British had, yes, the British had in their army Indian soldiers. Now many of these British Indian soldiers were in Baghdad, were in other places. Some of them were Sikhs, some of them were not Sikhs. They had many of these Indian soldiers from everywhere, and everybody knows how these Indians are going would have treated the local population. Yes, they got a low salary. They could do what they want with the women. There was mass scale rape, torture, and you know we already know how these soldiers are trained, full of hatred, and you can imagine what they did with the Quran and the Hadith manuscripts. We're talking every city in the Islamic world was occupied. Yes, by the British, the French, the Spanish, the Portuguese, the Italians. Yeah, make no mistake what these people were doing in their atrocities. They went to every mosque. Yes, Zitouna Madrasa in Tunis. I checked all these records out. Some of the pictures are disgusting, where they took women there. They took photographs of these women nude. Yeah, I don't really want to share them, but what to do is cover the women's bodies, but put these in the videos because people will think maybe David's exaggerating. You know, Fez Mosque in Morocco, in Algeria. Many people will even tell you, if you know any Moroccans, Algerians, Tunisians, Palestinians, anybody, Iraqis, and go and talk to their grandparents and old people and say, what did they do with the women? Yes, ask. Yes, so, because mosques were very big, this is where the soldiers could sleep, and they were safe at night, yes? So the thing is, because soldiers need to sleep, you know, same like you and me, we get tired, yeah? So the thing is, and these are the kind of things that they were doing. I'll give you an example. Like here, yeah. Here's a bunch of young girls somewhere in the Middle East. You know, cover their body, just one, but you know, people. This picture's not that bad, but there's others. They called it art. Yes, they called it art, and they were taking pictures like this. Yeah, you know, or the white cloth. You could see that that girl is actually tied up. Can you see that she's actually tied up?
Yeah.
They brought her. Yeah, we don't know which mosque this is or what building this is, you know, but they were doing things like this. So the thing is, make no mistake what these people were doing. Yeah, you can actually cover it, but leave the legs uncovered, or people will not believe how what they're actually doing. Yes, can you see what these people are doing? Calling it art. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see? Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Can you see? Yes. So now they went around. This is actually inside the tents of the families. Like, if you're there, hey, you get out. Yeah, you know, they've probably chopped your head off by now. Yeah, there's your sisters and your mothers and the rest of them. It's time for them to party. Yes, for the soldiers to party. So what do you think they did with these Qurans? They dumped them in the River Nile. They burnt the rest of them. It was systematic. Yes, the information is there in Wikipedia. Maybe in 10 or 20 years' time, they will delete it. Yeah, but let's just talk about one country at a time. Yeah, so now in Egypt, yeah, in Cairo, the River Nile's next door. They burnt them, threw them in the rivers, just dumped them. They got rid of them, these Qurans and Hadith books. This is what they did. So now somebody's going to turn around and say, hey, they had the pashas and these other people. Oh, God, these people were bribed, and they were replacing these people and putting their own people in power. Mm-hmm. You know, make no mistake. So this is why here is an old picture from somewhere in Central Asia, Samarkand. Yes, people are memorizing the Quran. And notice there is no manuscript. This is a madrasa. They didn't need a manuscript. So the Muslims already had the Quran in their brains. Mm-hmm. Yes, because they knew these people, what these people do. So today, what we do is we use the Quran manuscripts, yes, mm-hmm. To memorize and learn. Like, for example, here are some girls. I'm not sure where they are. I think it's in Turkey somewhere. What they do is they will memorize from the manuscript, but the manuscript is not their source. After they've memorized it, there will be a professor, let's say that's me. I will test and I will listen to see if they pronounce everything properly and if it rhymes. You see? So the thing is, the manuscripts today are even used just to assist people, but the manuscript is not the main thing. So now the British occupied Istanbul too. Yes, the thing is, and the French and the Americans, you know, same like they were in Baghdad and Kabul. Yes, same like the partitions of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and the occupation of Tangiers and all these other places. Yes, and Casablanca, where they did their massacres. Yes, so the thing is, you know, they dealt with the manuscripts. So now, what did they do after they destroyed the manuscripts and took a few to their museums and pretended they're originals? You can make manuscripts look old. Leave it out on the shelf or something, and you can make things look old. Yeah, there is no evidence that even a single manuscript is an original. They occupied Istanbul, Topkapi and everything. They've already played around with all the manuscripts. Yes. Can you read the Wikipedia? Yes. Yeah. All the 1924 pre-Qurans were destroyed. So now they replaced these Qurans, and what they did was, they had a committee to replace these Qurans. And let's have a look at these committees. Yes, people can have a look. They'll have to look themselves. Wikipedia, the Quran Cairo 1924 edition. Yes, so now here I've sent you something. The prominent members of the committee, the main members, yes, was a guy called Bergstrasser. Huh? What the hell's going on? Bergstrasser? Oh, he's from Germany. He came from Germany. Oh, he's just come from Germany. Oh, by the way, he's compiling he's writing down the current Quran version. What the hell is going on here? Let's see who this man was. A German linguist. Yes, He was a professor at Istanbul University during World War One. But there is no evidence he was a professor at Istanbul University. Maybe he was there. They've totally invented the history. We don't even know who he is, what he is, or why he was there. Yes. Now he's a German linguist. He's definitely part of a society that in these colonial empires, and you know, he was one of the prominent committee members. Now let's go through all these committee members one by one. 1924 Quran edition of Cairo. Yes, they had these so-called Islamic scholars, whoever these people are. Yeah, Al-Husayni Al-Haddad, and then they had a guy called Jeffrey. Yeah, who the hell is Jeffrey? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, so these guys have come along with their guns, or you can't complain. Let's have a look at Jeffrey. Yeah, you know, the Right Honourable Jeffrey. Yeah, Sir Arthur Jeffrey was a Protestant Australian professor. Yes, and he came along as well. So now these people, Ingrid Matson, who was part of the committee, I think also. And so what these people do is now what they do is the Quran that the people read in Ramadan, yeah, what you call Taraweeh. Yes, the Muslims memorized it. So these people knew they can't modify the Quran because the Muslims will know. Oh, the Muslims had protests, you know, shoot them. Yeah. Oh, God, get rid of these, you know, beggars. You know, get rid of these, you know, desert rats. Yeah, that's what they did. You know, anybody who protests, he's a protest leader. Just go to his house at night. You know, his sisters are there. Take care of them, and then there will be no further protests. So eventually, the protests died. Yes, and they turned around and said there was Muslim disagreement over what's going on in this Quran compilation. So now they didn't change the Quran because they couldn't do that because the Muslims were what do you call it?
Memorizing it.
The Muslims, yeah, they were memorizing it for a long time, centuries. As far as I have checked, I could find the memorization goes back at least 200 years up to 300 years. This is from my personal study. Yes. So now, what did they do? Now, at the end of the Quran, yes, the Quran mainly has many stories, and at the end, there's the prayers that people have, that the Muslims call Qul a'udhu birabbin nas, Qul a'udhu birabbil falaq, Alam tara kayfa, what is it? Things like this. These are the prayers. So now,
the smaller surahs, yeah, the smaller surahs.
Yeah, they are separate from the stories. So now what they did was, yes, they put those in the Quran, but they decided not to put At-Tahiyyatu Lillahi, or otherwise there will not be 114 chapters. If there is 114 chapters, you could divide it into 19. It becomes a multiple of 19. So now I will explain to you the 19 code that's in the Quran. It is only in the Cairo edition. So what they did with this Cairo edition Quran, yes, the Cairo edition Quran, they decided what letters to put where and the spellings. Yes, let me give you an example what they did. And in Tunisia, the Tunisians compiled their Quran, which is known as the Warsh Quran. Now the Hafs Quran is in Cairo. They're not different versions. It's the same Quran, but with different spellings. Now there's going to be many non-Muslims who are going to say that they're different versions. I will explain to you why they're not. Yes. So now the ruling in Egypt at the time, what do you call it, with the Pashas, and you cannot find their real history. The history is a fake. They were officially, what do you call it, they call them, they were part of secret societies, Masonic organizations. Yeah, for example, we've got Tawfiq Pasha. Yes, and not only him, but even the British and these leaders, they created something called the Grand Mufti of the Grand Mufti of Al-Azhar University. Yes, and the Grand Mufti, yes, let me just show here. He was appointed by the British under their rule. It seemed like I've come into your house. There's 10 brothers, yes, and I've chosen you to become the priest. I like you because I'm paying you money and you're going to do what I say. So now this is an example of the Grand Mufti, the highest Islamic title. Yes, What did this man do, for example? Yes, he turned around and said that meat that comes from the non-Muslims, like pork, oh, this is halal now, you can have pork. Oh, don't worry, the British brought it here. They're selling it. They're going to make money in the big cities, because in a big city, people don't do farming. In cities like Alexandria is a big city. Cities like Port Said, if anybody's been to Egypt, or Ismailia, or there's other cities like Mansoura. You know, it's big business. It's a lot of money, you know, in places like that. Not only that, he turned around and said, banking interest, you can charge interest, that's fine. It is halal now. Allah has ordered it through his Grand Mufti. Yes. So this is what's going on. Now, these Grand Muftis were also Masons. Yeah, people can check this information out themselves. And but anyway, so now let me show you this Grand Mufti. Here is an example of the Grand Mufti. He's just gone to Tunisia, and in Tunisia they've got a committee that's preparing the Quran over there. What's he doing? Going meeting them. Oh, by the way, the committee, the educational committee from Chaldunia Institute, every single member, yes, was educated in France, in Paris. They were the workers of the French. You see, yes. So it means that they were all what do you call it? You know, working for the British simply, and the French. Now, so they're working for the British and the French. Let me just send some information. And they formed a political party called the Young Tunisians. In Turkey, they formed a similar group called the Young Turks. In Morocco, they formed the Young Moroccans. Yeah. Well, anyway, these people, they were all educated in France. Yeah, you know what I mean. You know, it's like if you're a good boy and you're, I'll choose you. Your children can come and study in Paris or London. Don't worry, we'll teach them only what we want them to learn. Yes, they're not allowed to learn anything else because we want them. Don't worry, your son's going to be the prime minister. Your other son's going to be the president. Don't worry. Yes, when they're in France, you don't know what they're learning. So now, these people, yes, especially the Cairo Quran, I will show you the differences between the Cairo, the Hafs, and the Warsh Quran. Now, the differences people won't understand at first. Don't jump to conclusions. Yes. So now, if you I've sent you both of them here, and they've got spelling differences. Now, let me explain the spelling differences. Yeah. You're going to. I want you to actually put this spelling difference in the video, like how I'm showing. Yes, because people must actually know what is the difference. It is not a meaning difference. Now, for example, in some countries they spell hello like this. There is two L's, not one L. In some countries they spell it like this. Yeah, you spell it as you wish. So now the thing is, let's go back to the difference. Go back to the difference. What you will find in this Hafs and this Warsh Quran. Yeah. Let me send you an example again. Yeah.
So there's a big. I mean, it's not like the similar as hello because the first one.
Let me explain.
Okay.
It's better to explain. I'm going to send you 10, 20 examples, not one.
But let me just recite it so that people can know the difference. So the first one you sent me says tajma'un. So that is the ta in the beginning, and then the other one that's different. It says yajma'un. So it's the ta and the ya.
Okay. Now the thing is, it will say this on paper, but they're going to say this one's silent. Yes. So they're going to play games and say you don't pronounce it. We'll get to that next. That's why I said best leave it till the end.
Right.
Yeah. Until I finish. I mean. Yeah. So now when you look at it, on one of them it says they accumulate. On another one it says you. In the Hafs and the Warsh, Tunisian and Egypt. In one it says he will put him. We will put him. Now, I want you to notice, what is the Grand Mufti doing, seeing the people in Tunisia, and they're compiling it. It means they were organized. And Tunisia was occupied, they're workers. So now I've sent you another one. It says, I give you, in the Hafs or the Warsh, and the other one it says, we give you. In this one it says, they will be returned. It says, you will be returned. Now, Let me send you a few more examples because I'm going to explain this carefully. It says, do you say or do they say? It says a poor person or poor people. So now this is when you do the translations and the pronunciations, yes, because what they have done is inserted silent letters. Now I'm going to explain to you the lettering. Yeah, as you've noticed, there's the spelling difference. So now there is a Muslim professor called Bilal Phillips, or Mr. Phillips. Yeah, yeah. So now let me show you. You can read out the Arabic differences. What he does is he shows examples of the differences in some of these manuscripts, like the one in Tashkent, the Uthman Quran. They are going to tell you that's old. Nobody saw that Quran for decades, and it was in Russia. People who came, raped people, they were doing these things. Yeah, you've seen the pictures. So now you will see the spelling differences. And as you will notice that there is an extra alif. Yes? Now they're going to turn around and say this alif is silent. So now when you learn the Quran, yeah, these letters are going to be silent. Yeah? So the thing is, just put these silent letters here and there. As you can see, have a look now at this page. The next page, have a look at it carefully. Yeah? Can you see it? It says, consequently, among the peculiarities of the Quran script existing to this day are alifs, yas, wows, written, but they are not read as well. It means they're silent, or sometimes they're read, but not written. That there are some letters that you will find in these different manuscripts that nobody will read out, but they're not written down. You see? Yes? Now let's have a look at this page that I've sent you. It shows Bismillah. Yes, at the bottom, BSM. Now, in one manuscript, it will say BSM. In another one, it'll say B Alif SM or B Alif Sin Mim. So then you will pronounce that Basm. But now everybody knows it's Bismillah. So who put that extra alif there? The British did this with their committee, the Germans, and the Right Honourable Gentlemen from Australia and their friends, the rest of them. Do you see what's happened? So yes. They did this, yes? So they've put this there. If anybody wants, let me send you many pages. People can read this in their own time. You can put these 10 seconds each, and then people can do screenshots and have a look themselves. Yeah, so the thing is, they're going to turn around and say, this Quran, it took them 17 years with the support of Fuad the First, the Pasha of Egypt, and Azhari scholars. What scholars are you talking about? They chose the scholars themselves. You understand? It was printed by the Amiri press. We're talking about a third world country here. The press machines were made in Germany or in Holland or in Britain. You see? So now these hadith books, the Qurans, they've played with the manuscripts. So now the thing is, there's all these Muslim imams, let me just show, famous Muslim imams, yes, they don't know how to reply now. They really don't know how to even reply. Yeah, so they've got a problem. They're going to have to deal with this. I don't know who these people are. I've just gone to Google Images, yeah, and the thing is, these people now, many of them don't even know how to answer or reply to these non-Muslims who've made hundreds of videos. That they turn around and say, oh, we have this Quran manuscript, or this is, we know this is here in London, it is very old, it has been verified, or in France. For God's sake, they were raping people. They were killing people. They dumped the old manuscripts, they've changed everything. And they're lying and saying this one's old. And then, oh, what did they do in Yemen? Yes, many people don't know the forgeries in Yemen with the cameras and other things. These people are the type of people that they will leave a manuscript in Yemen 100 years ago and say, hey, we just found this right now. Ah, can't you see? The Arabic here has been modified. Underneath there was something else, so it looks like the Muslims have modified this. Garbage. It's just utter garbage. Yes, so the manuscripts, yeah, have been changed. Yes, the Muslims are going to have to be totally careful on this. Now, if you want, ask any questions if you want. Oh wait, let me just send you a few others because Muslims are going to find this. Yeah, and let me just show you because you're going to find this on non-Muslim websites, and many Muslims have now totally rejected the Quran, saying, "What the hell's going on? These manuscripts have different versions." So now I will explain the importance of the mosques, because in the mosques they memorize the Quran. So this is the only Quran that the Muslims have right now. That the Muslims themselves, they should actually not trust these leaders anymore. They have to write down their own manuscripts if they want to get the spelling correct, because these people have played with the manuscripts. The Muslims are now going to the manuscripts and saying, hey, Al-Duri version says this is an older manuscript. I don't even know what it means by this. Al-Susi version, it says we instead of he. So now the thing is, if anybody knows how the Quran is, the Quran rhymes. This is why you will find at the beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah, it says Alif Lam Mim. Yes. Now when you read Alam Tara Kaifa, it is spelt Alif Lam Mim, Alam Tara Kaifa. So why in Surah Al-Baqarah? Because now the Christians and the atheists are asking questions, saying, why will you say Alif Lam Mim and Alam Tara Kaifa? Why can you not say Alam Zalikal Kitabu? It's because the Quran is actually also, it's in poetry, it rhymes. So because people memorized it, we know how it is. So now when they wrote down Alif Lam Mim, they could have written A-L-I-F, Alif. Instead, they just put A, and then instead of Lam, L-A-M, they put L. They did this deliberately so that it matches with their 19. And the reason why they did this 19 thing is, it is because they are using 19 for other reasons. That's a long story. It's in my books. It's too deep to go into in one conversation. But I want to make it clear. The manuscripts in the museums are forgeries. The manuscripts in the museums are forgeries. And then even the Qurans that are now printed, yes, they use these manuscripts, and it's not the fault of the printer or many of these Muslim scholars, because they don't know. Now the non-Muslims are going to turn around and say, hey, we found so many different versions, yes, in the Quran. Now the thing is, they found different manuscripts. These manuscripts are not Muslim manuscripts. There's people, let me just show, I sent you the information before. You're going to have to go back. I sent you all these non-Muslim videos where they're turning around and they're discrediting, Islamic documents. Wait, I've just found it. This one, I will forward it to you. This is a classic evangelical. He's a businessman. Many people say he's making a lot of money. This has nothing to do with religion for him. I'm very sure of this. It's more about money. Yes. This man, he turned around and says, what does he say? Let's have a look. He says, fortunately, after decades of non-Muslims showing Muslims what's in their own sources and their own manuscripts, now the Muslims can reply to these people and say, they are not Muslim sources, they are not Muslim manuscripts, they are the manuscripts of the British, the French, the Germans, and the Italians who came and raped and tortured and killed people. And the Muslims are not lying. Those people put the lies there. Now the Muslims have an answer. Now it's up to the Muslims to go and reply to these people. They can go on his videos and all these other people. I don't know who they are. I've seen his videos. They're very funny. Normally I like to watch funny videos so that I can laugh at these people. I find this man very entertaining. I laugh at him, same like I laugh when I watch the Friends video. Friends, Joey. Somebody to laugh at. Yes? You understand?
Yeah.
It's because if this person was actually a researcher, he would have thought, I will go and have a look at these Muslim manuscripts myself and see where they came from. The British went and said, we stole this manuscript and it's in the British Museum, or we just found it, or somebody gave it us. Get real. People should start thinking realistically, what the British, French and their museums, what they did all around the world. Any questions now, go ahead and ask.
Okay, so I just wanted to go back a little bit